I'm going to press record. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board, and we are convening a session of the Tax Review Board. Today is March 18th of 2025. It is approximately 2:07, and today's category is water revenue. Please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will be posted on the Tax Review Board's website. With me today is our board chair, Paula Weiss, as well as board members Nancy Kamerdiner and John O'Connor. At this time, I'm going to give control to our chair, Paula, and then I'll be putting in case number 1 while Paula reads in some of the other information.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. Good afternoon, everyone. Tax Review Board hearings for March 18th, 2025 are now in session. Before we move into the hearings that we will be conducting today, we have some administrative matters on our docket to read into the record, starting with case number 3 for 2935 Headley Street. Last 4 digits of the docket, B7X2. This matter has been administratively continued to be redocketed. It was incorrectly docketed for the water revenue as a water revenue matter when in fact it is a stormwater. So it will be relisted once it is redocketed. Case number 4 for 1322 Chancellor Street. Last 4 digits of the docket, 4C13, has been continued. Case number 5, 4221 North Penn Street. Last 4 digits of the docket, OEQD, has been continued. We are going to drop down to what is listed as case number 7 on our docket, 1528 Point Breeze Avenue. Last 4 digits of the docket, 0118. This matter was heard by the board at a previous hearing. There was a full hearing with testimony and legal arguments taken under advisement by the board for further review. And having had that opportunity to go over it, the decision of the board is to deny this petition as to the merits of the petitioner's legal arguments. However, 100% of the penalties accrued for the time period in question will be abated. I do not believe there is anyone here for the taxpayer. So they will get a letter in the mail within 2 weeks, or counsel for the petitioner will receive a letter within 2 weeks with that decision and all appeal rights. Both parties have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas, and they will be so notified. Can I get a confirmation, a concurring vote from board members for this decision?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Kamerdiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. Ms. Scattergood, was this your case or Mr. Peng?
This was my case.
All right. So, Mr. Peng, did you have any questions about the decision?
No, I just gonna say, may I be excused? I have another hearing at Court of Common Pleas.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We'll see you another time, I'm sure.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye. All right. So we are going to move into case number 1, 4556 Aldine Street. Last 4 digits of the docket, 07DP. Petitioner is in our hearing room. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. Could you please state your full name for the record?
Sure. Hi, my name is Mayeli Ortiz.
Okay, Ms. Ortiz, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth? Thank you. We're going to turn to the city representatives to start us off so that we can have them read into the record the time periods and dollar amounts that are in controversy. And then we will come back to you and you'll have an opportunity to explain to us why you're here, what you're looking for from the board. Okay?
Ms. Smith has resolved her computer connection issues and is in the waiting room for this Zoom call.
All right.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I just put her in.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Smith, can you hear us?
No, Ms. Smith.
Can't hear you.
You can
We
hear
can hear her,
us.
but she can't hear us. Okay.
All right, we're going to try to. All right, we're going to try. You keep working on it. We're going to try to move this along. Ms. Scattergood, would you just identify yourself for the record for everybody?
My name's Elizabeth Scattergood, and I am counsel for the City of Philadelphia on the matters listed for today's hearings.
Do you have the financial information? I know generally we'd be expecting Ms. Smith to read that into the record, but
Let me
You can do that. We
Make
can,
sure. I believe the period in controversy is November 21st, 2021 through November 21st of 2023. I'll ask Ms. Smith, who's our who is our representative, to just quickly, when she has a moment, maybe nod her head to confirm that I have it right. Also, I guess the
all right, so even with
Yeah, I'm hearing something.
okay,
Ms. Smith, can you
I
say
can
something?
hear you now, Chanel.
Ms. Smith, can you say something? Ms. Smith?
Come on, please.
But now,
We
it's
can.
funny because we can hear her now, but now she can't hear us.
Her computer might be muted since she unplugged her headphones.
To
Yeah.
the internet,
or can you text
but it
her?
works in the room,
Yes,
right?
I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get it right.
We usually do eventually.
You got earphones that works with it, or no? Right?
with me today.
No, I'm gonna try
I
to
just
do
wanna
it
say,
in
put
a
on your earphones. Put on your earphones.
mhm.
I gotta say, yeah.
Give me 1 second.
All right. We'll also
She
assume-
says she's about to try and connect to John Bowman's laptop. Give her 1 second.
All right.
John Bowman is another representative who has general helpful stuff. So I'm going to
Okay.
remove
Um,
this.
All right, so you know what, the number.
I'm happy to defer to Ms. Ortiz, and if that pleases the board, for the sake of time efficiency. you
So, all right, so Ms. Ortiz, could you explain to us why you're here today, what you're looking for from the board, where the problem areas are from your point of view?
Yes, sure. Thank you for the opportunity, right? That I come here to discuss my problem that I have right now. So on September 2023, right? The 14th, the meter was changed at the property, right? On September 18th, I received a bill for $4,000 and something. You can see it, maybe on the bill. It was like 4,600, right? Something like that.
Okay.
And I came to LNI, I went downstairs and I say, I don't understand this bill. I do have a problem maybe. And then they said, you need to get a plumber to go to your house because maybe you have a leak in your house. And then that's what I did. I found a plumber who came to my house, right? And at the beginning was the meter problem. That's what I thought, because it was just recently changed. And after that change, I got the bill. So let me start first saying that I bought this property on January 19, 2022. This is the date that we signed up the documents, right? And then when I bought the property, it was clear, like from any liens from the city and everything. Everything was cleared up. So the house was under renovation when I bought the house. So nobody were actually at the house. Nobody were living at the house because the house was under renovations. So I got this problem with the meter, right? And then I was like, something happened. So the plumber came and then he saw the meter and then he was like, maybe there's some problem with the meter. I paid $250 for the plumber to come to the house. And he said, oh, the meter is fine. Everything is fine. You talk to them, to the city, to the water department and tell them that there's no problem. Maybe they need to change the meter because there may be something up there. So the next month, the bill come again, but it was like 5,000 and something. It was like 1,000 more. And then on November, I found another plumber because I came back to the to LNI and then I explained my situation because listen, so the bill went up to $6,000. And then he said, you need to get a plumber, man. You got a leak in your house. And then I found another plumber to come to my house. And then it was a flop. It was only a flop that was doing this, right?
I
And
don't understand. I'm sorry, a what?
it was the flop from the toilet.
Oh,
The
so
flop.
it was
Oh,
a
he
running
found the
toilet.
leak.
Oh, the,
Sorry.
Yeah,
the
we
toilet
found-
was running. Okay.
Yeah. So the plumber found the problem. It was a leak, you know, from a flap, right? And then he came, he changed everything, he did the job, and then the problem stopped. So everything started like, you know, like every month, like if you can see the bills, the bill is like $130, $150, like a regular bill, you know, because the problem was solved, right? It wasn't that I was not paying the bill since I bought the house. I bought the house on January 2022, but the bills, I have it over here that you sent it to me. It was like $47. It was 90, 97, 95, 47. I always pay the bill like every month, right? So I had the first tax review board, the first decision when I sent the bill, you know, that the plumber sent it to me, I sent it to you. And then the first one was like, okay, the first review, it was like, no, you need to pay the $6,000. So I was like, okay. I made a second chance with another judge. I came here on August
Second.
2, August the 2nd. Yeah. I came here the August the 2nd, and then I remember the judge, he said very clear, he said, ma'am, you have, okay, I'm going to adjust this bill. I'm going to reduce because I see that you have 88 CCF. I think it was for the year, for the month. I don't remember right now. I said, I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to reduce to 11,000, right? So I thought it was for the month of the problem. The month of the problem was from September to November. But then when I received the bill, it went up to 21,961 because it was calculated from November 2021 that I don't even have that house at that time until November 2023. That was basically when we found out the problem and everything. So I think, I don't know, the adjust wasn't right, you know, was not right to me. And I don't know if you see it to you. And I think that this is like a lot of money to pay, you know?
So can you explain to us, is this your house?
No, this is not my house.
So what kind of property is this?
This house, I bought it for investment. It was my first property to do. This is the first time I was like doing this, you know.
So you have a tenant? It's for tenants?
Yeah,
It's renting it out?
it's for tenants.
Okay. All right.
So this is like my first investment because I wanted to do something. And then because I have all this, I feel like, I don't know, I'm like stuck. I don't know. I feel like this is like a lot of money. I don't, you know, I don't want to be dealing with this, you know, like, and I really want like a fresh start.
Okay, well, let's see what the city,
When did the plumber come? You said the plumber came. Do you remember when the plumber came?
On November 23, he came again, you know, the one that
The second plumber.
the second plumber that, you know, found the problem at the property.
Thank you.
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna turn to Ms. Scattergood.
Before I double check with Ms. Smith about the numbers, I just wanted to quickly ask you, when did you start having tenants in the property after the renovations were completed?
It was June
June of
2022.
June of 22. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying it was vacant from January of 22 until June.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And is there a rental license for this property yet?
I couldn't get not even that because I have like a violation for this. And
Okay.
It's like this, it gave me like a lot of problem and trouble to get one thing.
Understood. Yep. Okay. All right. If Ms. Smith is able to hopefully she can still hear us, and hopefully this time we can hear her.
Can you hear
Ms.
me?
Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
Yay!
Good job.
So I'll have, so if Ms. Chairperson doesn't mind, I will have Ms. Smith read the period in dispute and the numbers in dispute into the record.
I'm gonna swear her in first. So good afternoon, Ms. Smith. Nice to not only see, but hear you. Could you state your full name and position with the city, please?
Chanel Smith, and I'm a witness for the city of Philadelphia.
Do you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give in these matters will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Scattergood?
All right, Ms. Smith, would you mind giving us the dates in dispute and the amounts in dispute for the record, please?
Which address is this?
Oh, sorry, this is for 4556 Aldine Street,
Okay.
case number 1.
Okay. The dispute, the period in dispute is the 9/18/2023 final read bill for the period of November 12, 2021 through September 15, 2023. The principal amount is $6,547.72. The penalty amount is $374.84. Zero lien, bringing the total dispute amount to $6,922.56.
Did I interrupt a moment, Ms. Scattergood? Ms. Smith, could you give us the current balances?
Yeah, let me bring them. It is $22,062.60.
Say that again, please.
The current balance is $22,062.60.
And that's all principal, or that's just the total?
That's the total. The principal is $21,976.55.
Can I ask if that was due to the hearing officer's determination in August where he will rebuild the entire account at 11,000 CCFs a month?
See, yes,
Got it.
That's all vacated now. We're back to.
Yeah, we're
square
gonna
one.
take that away.
Okay. We're gonna handle that as well.
And what is the name of the person who, or person or persons who have the account? There's something listed with an LLC after it, and I haven't quite figured where that fits in this array with
That was
the
going to
information
be-
that's been given.
Madam Board Member, that I was going to ask Ms. Ortiz about her affiliation with the property owner of record, who appears to be JM Development and Construction LLC. So Ms. Ortiz, what's your connection with that entity?
I am the owner.
You're the owner. Okay.
Yeah, my husband and I, we are, just my husband and I. 50
Okay.
and 50.
Got it. Okay.
And your first name or your name is what?
Majeli. Majeli.
Can you spell it?
Mayeli.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, Ms. Scattergood?
Okay. All right. Ms. Smith, have you had the chance to review this customer's account?
yes.
Okay. And what kind of property is 4556 Aldine Street?
Multifamily,
Multifamily. Okay. And who owns it?
JM Development and Construction LLC,
Okay. And you know this how?
the deed.
Okay. And when does the deed say they took ownership?
Um, that information is actually on my desk.
Okay. That's
Well, I think Ms. Ortiz already testified to
okay.
that, January
Correct.
2022. So that's.
Okay. My apologies. Okay. Has there been any actual water usage on in this property over the past 6 months?
Yes,
Okay. And what charges appeared on the bill for this property during the disputed period?
water, service, and storm.
Okay. And as for the bills, where are they being sent?
They are being sent to the property.
To 4556 Aldine Street? Okay.
Correct, yes.
Are the water usage readings all progressive, meaning they go forward and not backward, they go up?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any, are there actual or estimated usage readings?
They are mostly estimated. The last 2 months were actual.
Okay.
But
So
I interrupt, when you say mostly, is that for the time period in question or is that now?
For the time period in question.
Okay, thanks.
so from approximately when to when have the readings been estimated during the disputed period?
From November the 12th through September the 14th, 2023. So November the 12th of 2021 through
Okay.
to September 14th, 2023.
So that's what, about almost 2 years worth of estimated readings?
Correct.
Okay, and why might readings be estimated and not actual for a property?
If the meter is faulty or the meter or tampered with.
Okay, and just for the record, what are the components of the meter assembly?
An ERT and a meter.
And what does ERT stand for?
Electronic register transmitter.
Okay, so how does the meter differ from the ERT?
The meter measures water usage and the ERT transmits readings.
To the water department, to the city? Okay. Okay, and do the Water Revenue Bureau records suggest why this property had almost 2 years of estimated readings?
Make sure I have my answers correct. So, oh, I'm sorry. Well, what they did say, what the records do suggest is that there was a leak because the blue pinwheel was rapidly spinning.
Okay,
That's what it does suggest.
okay. Did water department technicians go out to the property during the disputed period?
Yes.
When did they go?
Mm. 9/14/2023.
Okay. Does the system reflect who requested that visit?
No.
Okay. Did the meter shop technicians install or service the meter?
No.
Did they install or service the ERT?
Yes.
What'd they do? Did they repair it or replace it?
They replaced it.
Okay. So the meter that's in the property right now is the same meter that was in the property during the disputed period?
Correct.
Okay. Did the technicians do any other work at the property during that
No.
visit?
No.
Okay. How do the readings change, if at all, following this visit?
So immediately after the rotate, there were very, very high usage for about 3 months until December. And then after that, the readings lowered.
Okay. Okay. Did the visit result in any changes to the billing?
Yes.
What kind of changes?
The estimated usages were rebilled to reflect the actual reading that was obtained at the rotate.
So when the meter shop technicians literally looked at the meter face and took the number from there, they determined that the estimated readings had had been too low? Like, was there usage for which the water customer had not been billed over the past, over those 22 months of estimated usage?
Correct.
Okay, so so that's what this rebill, so to speak, was based on the actual usage discovered at the meter reading during this September of 2023 visit.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, and have there been any debit adjustments to this to the property account, excuse me?
Yes, but only as a result of the adjustment that was decided from the last hearing.
Oh, right, the adjustment that's no longer at issue because this hearing is de novo. Okay.
Right.
Okay, and describe the payment history on this account, please.
It's actually good. It's a good payment. They're current. Outside of this big amount, they're current.
Okay. So just to double check, the estimated readings began in November of 2021, several months before, a few months before the petitioner took ownership of the property, correct?
Right.
Okay, and they continued for another year and a half
Yes.
after that. Okay.
Yes.
So the rebill is based on actual water usage at this property.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Smith. I don't have any other questions.
All right, so before we close out, Ms. Ortiz, did you have any questions for Ms. Smith regarding the billing? How they came up with, how the Water Revenue Bureau came up with the bills?
I just wanted to add something. I didn't know that I have an estimate billing until I went to LNI, and they find out that, you know, I've been receiving an estimate. When I received the bill, I just pay the bill. See, I was like new, and I think most of the people do. Like when you receive the bill, you just, okay, I owe this, I pay this, right? And then you find something like crazy, like, you know, like $21,000 in your bill, you've been like, oh, something is happening, you know? So when I changed the meter, it was because the city of Philadelphia, the water department, you know, they just say to every house that we need to change the meter in the area. And then that's why I made the appointment, and I, you know, opened the house to
No,
come.
we understand that. We're not saying you did
Yes, of course.
anything
People.
wrong, or that you were in any way negligent. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
but their testimony, unfortunately for you, is their testimony is that when they did look at the meter, they saw that it was not that the electronic transmitter had not been sending the actual usage numbers to the city, and therefore their bills had been estimated. And that's a good part of the issue here, 22 months of estimated, and they estimated low compared to what the actual, because there was nothing wrong with the meter, it was the transmitter as far as the water department testimony is concerned. So we do understand that you've acted completely in good faith, you've done what you needed to do. However, you know, the water bill every month does tell you whether your bills are based on estimated usage or actual usage. And as you said, you paid what came in without necessarily noticing or looking at that. So that's part of the issue. And then you also have testified that you did have at least 2 months of a leak, and a leak, a running toilet can really run up water. So that's where we are. And I think right now, unless Ms. Scattergood has anything in closing, the board is going to step back and have a conversation and see if there's some resolution we can offer.
I have nothing further.
Okay, so we're going to step back. Everybody sit tight. Ms. Drunk, thank you for your patience. We're going to get to you next.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Just stay where you are. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. This was a interesting decision.
All right, we got everybody.
Nancy's right here, yeah.
Okay, all right, the tax review board is back in session. We did take the time to review the information and evidence provided today. And our decision is as followed, and it's broken into several pieces based on the testimony and information regarding the property. So for the period 11/11/2021 through 6/1/2020, we're directing the Revenue Department to rebill usage at 200 cubic feet per month, taking into account that the property at that time was unoccupied in terms of tenants, although renovations were going on.
Madam Chairperson, could you repeat that time period, that first time frame again, please?
November 11th, 2021 through
Right.
June 1st, 2020.
2022.
22.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
2022. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Never mind. Too many times. All right. Then for the time period, June 2nd, and I understand usually it should be reading to reading, but I don't have a reading in June. So we're just trying to do the best we can here. June 2nd, 2022 through September 14th, 2023, rebill based on 1,400 cubic feet per month. And for the readings from October 12th, 2023 through December 11th, 2023, rebill based on 8,000 cubic feet per month. Penalties will be abated, and petitioner will have 30 days from the date of the adjusted bill to make arrangements to pay any balance that may be due. Can I get concurrence from the board?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Camerdiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. So Ms. Ortiz, we cannot give you I want to make one other statement. We want to be clear that the decision made by the hearing officer that resulted in that $21,000 bill is vacated, that we have started de novo with the original bill under dispute that was in the $6,000 range. I don't have the exact $6,547.72 in principal. All right, so Ms. Ortiz, we have looked at all the usage you've been challenging, made reductions that should be significant for you. We cannot do the dollar calculations here. You will get a letter from the tax review board with our decision in 2 weeks, and an adjusted bill will follow from the Water Revenue Bureau showing all of the reductions and adjustments. And from that time period, you'll have 30 days to either pay the bill or make arrangements for installments with the department. Okay? All right, so thank you for coming in, and that concludes the matter.
All right.
in front of us
Thank you
today.
so much.
Okay, and we are going to move on. Case number 2.
Okay. So I can leave, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're going to move on to case number 2, 7639 Roosevelt Boulevard. Last 4 digits of the doc 9864. The petitioner is on our Zoom. Ms. Strunk.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. Could you state your full name for the record?
Sure, Rachel Strunk.
Okay. And Ms. Strunk, you're the owner of this property now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. So as we did in the previous hearing that you were watching, we're going to turn to the city first, so that we can have the periods in controversy and dollar amounts read into the record, and then we'll come back to you, and you'll have an opportunity to explain to us why you're here today, what you're looking for from the board.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Smith, are you on?
Yes. The period of question is September 5th, 2019 through June 1st, 2022. The principal amount is $2,207.83. The penalty amount is $195.50. The lien amount is $182.90, bringing the total dispute amount to $2,586.23.
Okay. Ms. Scattergood?
There might be some nunc-pro-tunc issues with this case that I would like to for which I need a little context from Ms. Strunk, especially as regards to ownership. So Ms. Strunk, when did you purchase this property?
I didn't purchase the property. The property belonged to Victoria and Myron Gonta, who are my grandparents.
Okay,
It was billed to my father, who is disabled, who lives with me.
Okay.
And I had to go through the process of having the will abated after they passed away and then having it transitioned into my name. So I didn't take possession of the property until 2022.
okay. And do you and your father live in this property?
No, my brother lives there, who is also disabled. So
Okay.
yeah.
What's your brother's name?
His name is Michael Gonta.
Okay. Okay. Have you lived at this property at any point?
No.
Okay. And when did your grandparents pass away?
My grandfather passed away in 2001,
Okay.
and my grandmother passed away in 2012.
Okay. And who's the administrator of their estate?
That would be the person that had that was my father.
Okay.
Kenneth Gonta.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't get his name.
Kenneth.
Kenneth.
Kenneth. Okay. Okay. All right. I have nothing further at this point at this moment right now. I'll let Ms. Weiss,
All right, we're going to take it back. Ms. Strong?
yes.
We're going to turn it over to you.
Okay.
Explain to us what it is that you're concerned about, why you're here, what you're looking for.
So I know the dates that Ms. Smith read off, as far as the bill was concerned, but the initial amount is from 1998 to 2014. I have the bill right here. I'm not sure if you can see that.
No, we cannot, and I will tell you that that is probably way too old for us to handle.
I know, but that's where it all started. So in May of 2016, we were issued a bill of $1,672.77. When I reached out to the city, I wasn't allowed to discuss the matter with them because the house was not in my name. So I had to wait until I was able to get the will abated and everything into my name in order to have the conversation with them. And then COVID happened, so we kind of got like behind there. But in essence, the bill was from that time period. That's where this amount came from. And I was told that the reason why we were charged that much, because we were charged from 1998 to 2014, this dollar amount, like it just came one day and said, oh, you owe this, because the meter was apparently placed in backwards. So the city did like an estimate of what the additional charges would have been during that time period. I didn't own the property at this time. I was 34 years old. My grandparents were also passed away at the time that this bill was issued to us, and I couldn't talk about it. So then once the house was transferred into my name, everything became mine. So here we are.
Was the property vacant at any time?
It was never vacant. My brother always lived there, but we always paid whatever the water department sent. Like our bill was always on time. It was just this amount that we were disputing, because even during these years, we would get a bill and it would get paid, whatever was on the bill. And then one day, like I said, this bill just showed up and they said, well, you owe $1,672. And we're like, well, what do you mean? We've always paid it. And then when I was told that, well, didn't you notice the dollar amount was the same every month? And I'm like, I didn't live there. My grandparents did, and they just paid the bill when it came. Whatever it was, they paid it. And they were like, well, we put the meter in backwards, so we're assuming that you owe us this additional money. I mean, they're not here to fight that. So I don't.
Unfortunately,
Yeah. So I don't really.
we're talking at the very earliest 11 years ago. Back to 98 is 27 years ago. I don't know what you can tell us about what kind of usage there was at that time. I mean, I'm not unsympathetic.
I mean, my grandmother was 91 living by herself by the time she
For
passed
her.
away. So I don't really know how much water she used. I also don't know how much water they used from 98 to 2014.
I mean, we can only get, all right. Okay.
Ms.
ahead.
Strunk, do you mind if I ask, do you have some kind of POA, like power of attorney or health related authorization with your father?
My father lives with me.
Okay.
Excuse me, why, Ms. Scattergood? If
Well,
Ms. Strunk
because
owns the property.
I'm just inquiring about why whether a petition could have been brought on his behalf earlier
understand.
than 2022 if you were aware of these bills back in 2016.
So to answer your question, why, I'm sorry, I had a thought and then I
Been
just
there.
forgot about it.
Take your
I've been
time.
there.
But to answer your question, my father, again, is not okay.
Right.
He's not there. He's the only child of Myron and Victoria. So
Mhm.
naturally it went to him.
Mhm.
So by the time I was able to like get a lawyer and figure out how to do all of this, like that was not really my top priority. And then as soon as I was able to take ownership and really like, so that I could talk about this, then we had COVID and then all these things happened. So it wasn't like an easy, like he could mentally like talk about, you know, what was happening here.
No, but could you not have talked about it on his behalf if the property had been in his name at that point?
Yeah, I don't have power of attorney over my father, but also to answer
Okay.
the question, when he went to when we originally went and did file to talk about this, we were told that we weren't the property owner so that they couldn't speak to us. Like we actually went to the water department, we had a hearing and then they wouldn't talk to us about it because neither of us were the owners. So then we went.
Okay.
And when was that?
That was in 2018, I believe.
But that's still
And
3 years.
and both of your grandparents had already been deceased at that point, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So
And there was, I guess, like he didn't abate the property right away, or we didn't because my brother was living there and he was just like, it's in the family, we're not selling it. And my disabled brother lives there. So there wasn't a rush on us to put the property in my name or his name. My dad's an only child. It's not like somebody was going to be fighting us for the property. So it just wasn't a priority at the time.
okay.
Can I ask a question just about the bill? So, Ms. Smith read in 9/5/19 to 6/1/22, but is that $1,600 that was due in 2014? Does that make up the $2,500, or is that something else?
So this amount includes the balance transfer that includes the DA that was in that balance transfer of that from the 98 up until when was it, 2018, I believe, or
DA being debit adjustment?
2019. Yeah, the debit
Okay.
adjustment was included in that balance transfer.
All right, so
So
the 20, you read a principal of 2207 and the $1,672 is part of that.
Right.
Okay.
And what's the additional, I guess, for $600?
I think unpaid bills since the balance transfer
I think they were liens and
or
fees.
liens and principal. Yeah, more so like liens and principals and some unpaid bills, I believe.
Okay, thank you for bringing that down for us.
All right, Ms. Scattergood.
So the property has not been vacant at all during this time period. Your brother's been living there throughout,
Yes,
at least during your ownership of the property.
correct.
Okay. Where do you have bills being sent for the water?
They go to the house, but I'm there every week. My brother is he's disabled, like he's
Right.
chronic pancreatitis, he's on medicine. I see him every week, so I pick the bill.
Okay. No need to go into specifics.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you for being willing to disclose that to us. So just the one just the one occupant. And what kind of property is this?
It's a single family.
It's just a single
yeah, it's
family?
it's a couple. Yeah. Like a twin house.
Okay. Did you ever did you have any plumber inspections regarding leaks, either before or after you took ownership?
No, I didn't, just because when I was finally able to talk to somebody at the city, I was told, well, that it was an estimate based on the water meter being put in backwards.
Okay, right,
So
okay.
I didn't think it was necessary. I mean, he pays his bill. We pay whatever he owes every month.
Okay,
So it's just really the balance of this that's not paid.
okay.
Ms. Scattergood, do you have, I know, I'm not gonna even ask back to 1998, but you have an account history for us so that we can see what the usage charges were on a monthly basis, how many cubic feet were being billed, and then what happened in 2016 that resulted in that higher amount, that's $1,600?
Yes, I can pull that up right now. Board's indulgence, please.
I'm actually intrigued to know as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
And just so you know, Ms. Strunk, the reading history will be shown in what are called in CCFs. So it's like hundreds of cubic feet. So 8 CCFs would be 800 cubic feet a month.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do gallons.
Right.
I don't know why.
Because
Don't do gallons.
all right, let me see if
And while you're doing that, Ms. Smith, can you tell us if this account ever received a 15-year write-off?
And I just want to apologize in advance, but the bell's gonna ring in a minute, so.
Okay. You teach?
Yes, at Bodian High School in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. And you're okay? You're okay for time?
Yeah, this is my prep period. I have last period prep, so it worked out well.
Okay.
No 15-year runoff.
Pardon me?
No 15-year
Okay, I
runoff.
guess, yeah, the bill, I just realized the bill didn't come out till 2016, even if it goes back to 98.
is everyone able to see my screen? I know
Yes.
it's small, and that's a function of the platform
All right.
that over which we do not have control at this time.
All right, so you can't zoom in, but we're okay.
I can't zoom in, no. Yeah, I can't zoom in, but
Is there someone who can read it, who could give us a quick comment on it, or?
All right, so we're looking at 2025.
so these are the prior months. Monthly usage has been about 5 or 6 CCFs. The ERT, the electronic transmitter, was replaced in February of 2024. And prior to that, readings were mostly consistent. I did include all customers, so this should allow me to go back a little bit farther than
Actually, I'm looking, there are some spikes.
a couple spikes, but like during the holidays, or when there's more
July summers.
a little bit of a spike in the summer. Only 1 month that I've seen so far with
16.
estimated readings.
All right.
Ms. Strunk, did you have a tenant in this property?
No, never.
Did your brother have a tenant account for this property?
At one point, while I was going through this dispute, the water bill was in his name because we were afraid they were gonna shut it off and he needed water because of his disability.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop. Ms. Scattergood, I just saw 2014, the ERT replacement. So stop. Right? Okay, so, all right, so I'm looking at zero usage. Is
That's
that,
a meter that was a meter
the-
replacement as well.
all right, so that's in 2014, which is when she got that. Then after that, she got the large bill? The $1,600 is gonna be my guess?
Yes.
All right, so keep going back. So there was zero,
Keep going back farther.
just a little bit. I'm
So
just gonna say it was zero, it wasn't estimated usage, it was zero usage for all that?
that's because the meter was, I think because Ms. Strunk said her plumber informed her that the meter had been running backwards. So rather than, so it'll read advanced, the usage is only measured by advanced progressive readings. So it's either a 0 or a positive. Like if the meter's running backwards, it's not gonna register that usage.
All right, so I'm just looking, so actually for all that time, there was
Correct.
zero usage is really what I want. It wasn't estimated, it was zero.
Actual usage as far as the meter assembly was
Although
concerned,
stop,
so to
in
speak.
2014, I see usage.
That's
Oh,
after
then
the
it's
meter
after the meter was,
itself.
all right. Can you
Not
go
just
back?
the ERT, but the meter itself.
All right, so go back a little more. Can you go back to 2013? I just want to see zero all the way, if you can.
In 2013, it looks like the ERT was replaced, but the meter was still in the property. The one
So is
that
there
was
any
allegedly put
time-
in backwards.
Okay, is there any time when there was usage in those? No, it was all zero. So Ms. Strunk, what we're showing you, based on the department's, well, 2015, it's 15. That for the years that you're questioning, it looks like, at least for as much as we can see, the property was not billed for water usage, and the bill that your parents or your grandparents and your brother, all those bills that were being paid, no one is saying they were not being paid, had to be for service charge only, because they didn't
And
even start
stormwater.
well, not until 2010, right? So yeah, for some of those years, both stormwater and service, and for some of those years would have been service charge only.
I mean, yeah, I can't speak to that. I don't know.
I know. No, I'm just telling you what the
Yeah.
departments.
I understand.
It's hard to look at this, and if you're not familiar with it, it's hard to know
Sure.
what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But what we're looking at is, while you have said your brother and your grandparents, 1, 2, 3, however many of them at the
Well, no,
time.
my grandfather died in 2001, so it would just have been my grandmom at the property.
Okay, so, in any event, there was not a time where no one was in the property, but there was,
that's correct.
right? But there was a significant amount of time when the no usage was being billed on the monthly bills, which is not to say your grandmom didn't pay every month, but she wasn't being charged for, no matter how little water she used, she wasn't getting charged for it. And so when they came in 2014, I guess they estimated how many.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, so they estimated, but it wasn't because she had been paying usage and they put more on top. It was there was none. So the question then becomes, how much usage did they estimate? And how that looks in relationship to what both before and after were actually being used. So Ms. Scattergood, can you tell us? Actually go back up to 914. We can figure out how much usage per month was actually estimated, if what you're telling me is that 2014 bill was an estimate? Or was it? Go back up to 2014.
2014,
Yeah, when they changed the ERT and the meter.
there was no estimated reading.
All right, so where did that $1,600 bill come from? If we're not seeing a big bump in the next few bills that would have said, oh, we just put 14 years worth of usage on your bill.
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a moment,
Okay.
please.
Go ahead.
Um,
Let's try and figure this out, Mr.
Yeah, that's
See where we are.
okay.
Good luck.
You can tell I've been like dealing with this a long time. Water.
Mhm.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
um,
It's an odd expertise.
I'll go back to the prior account. If it was for,
Do you think it was on her brother's account?
when did you say when did you say you received that bill?
Back in
six-
2016.
Yeah, it
In
wasn't on,
2016? Okay.
it wasn't my brother's account because it says Myron and Victoria on the bill, so.
Oh, you said May of 2016 you got the bill.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Let me see. If you
I
don't
guess the question is, can you see in May of 2016, Ms. Scattergood, how much usage was actually added at one time that would have been presumably to cover the entire period when the meter was not functioning?
It's loading.
Are you still waiting for it to load?
Yes, ma'am.
May I ask
Okay.
Ms. Smith a
Just
question?
inquiring in case there was something else that was happening.
Nope.
Ms. Smith, maybe you know the answer to this while we're waiting. If Ms. Strunk's brother is living in the home and he has a disability, are there any, if he were to become an account holder again, are there any programs that he might be eligible for to help with the water bill?
Oh, yeah, he can apply with the CAP program, and then from there, based on the information that he provides and his income, they determine which tier in the CAP program he qualifies for.
CAP being Customer Assistance Program.
Correct.
So that might help
Um,
going
you.
forward, Ms. Strunk, with
I appreciate
lowering
that. Thank you.
the bill.
I can
as a-
actually put the link for that in the chat for you, Ms. Strunk.
Thank you. I appreciate
Mhm.
that.
As I said, he would have to become an account holder again as a tenant account, but there might be some assistance programs that he would be eligible for as a going forward. All right, where are we doing? How are we doing, Ms. Scattergood?
Still going.
What are you,
Doesn't
what,
sound
I'm
hopeful.
trying to pull the bill, Ms. Smith, from March 29th of 2016.
We wanted to see how much usage was added to the bill that created that $1,600 bill. And it was obviously back usage going, to take into account that for so many years there was zero usage. How much did they actually put on the bill?
In the transaction history, Ms. Smith, it's the debit adjustment that was logged on March 21st of 2016 for the about 1672.
so they rebuild them at 2.26 CCFs per month.
I'm sorry, 26?
Yeah, 2.26 CCFs.
Oh, 2.26.
So 226 cubic feet per month.
Yes.
Okay.
And that covered
That covered
16 years.
from July 6, 98 through May 27th, 2014.
Okay.
Seems fair.
All right, we got it. All right. Any-
This bill is not loading for me, Ms. Chairperson. I am sorry.
All right, that's fine. I think we got the information from Ms. Smith.
Okay.
So, all right,
Okay.
so, Ms. Strunk, what Ms. Smith is testifying to is that while it was over a 16-year period, per month, you were being billed, or I guess your brother,
A
and
grandparent.
your grandmother for a period of time, and then your brother was there, based on 226 cubic feet per month. And in looking at 2020 and 21, that's actually much lower than the actual usage being billed now, which is ranging from 700 to about 1,200 per month. Problem is that it went over 16 years.
16 years.
And that's a lot. We understand. All right. So, but that seems to be where we stand. Ms. Scatterbook, good. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Normally I'd add that if water is passing through the meter, then it becomes the water customer's responsibility. But since the meter was running backwards, I don't know how helpful that argument will be here.
I guess, yeah.
Hopefully CAP will, hopefully you can find something in CAP that can help you guys out in the meantime.
Actually, that would help with the back bill too, right?
It helps
that's
with
a
the
water-
overall balance, yes.
Right, but that's a water.
As long as you pay the
forgiveness
bills, as long as you pay in
program.
on time, then the aged debt, the aged debt will
Oh, maybe.
incrementally be written off, I believe.
Well, even if it's a different landlord account as opposed to a tenant account? Maybe not.
That debit adjustment and all whatever other unpaid bills and penalties was included in the balance transfer once the account came under Ms. Strunk's name. So if she was to go into CAP under her account, all of that will be included. Everything will be
Right. But it wouldn't be her. It would be her. It would have to be a tenant account for her brother. So it wouldn't, but it would help going forward.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Strong, did you have anything else you wanted to add? I think we understand the circumstance.
No, I guess I don't know if you're gonna disperse and leave me here by myself for a minute. I don't know how this works, but
Hang tight.
guess-
The board
I
is
guess the only thing I would ask is that if I am going to have to be responsible for this, if we could go back to the original amount and take the fees off. I don't know if that's a possibility. So I don't know what you're gonna decide, and
Well, we don't either yet. So
Okay,
we're gonna
so
talk
I
then.
appreciate
You
all
sit
of your
tight.
time, and that's it. So yes, I'll wait.
Sit tight. The board members with Ms. Andre are gonna step aside into a virtual room, and then we're gonna come back.
Okay. that's
Okay.
fine. Thank you. Ms. Smith, I don't envy you.
I'm sorry.
I
Say it
said
again.
it's a whole lot of numbers you got to run through every day. I don't
Oh
envy.
yeah, I sure do.
You must have a headache every day.
Well, no, after a while, you kind of master the craft, so it becomes easier.
Yeah, but thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. No problem.
Is it open? I'm sorry.
Okay, board is back right now.
I'm sorry, I just have to open the door.
Go ahead. Are we ready?
Oh, we're just waiting for the.
Lost Ms. Strunk, right?
Was that school bell that caused her to get up?
School's out?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm
alright.
sorry. It's just
That's
a
okay,
bell.
no
It's a
problem.
Student coming into the lab, but you're fine.
Okay, all right, Tax Review Board is now back in session. We spent a little bit of time and discussed all the testimony that we heard. And it is our decision that we will direct the Revenue Department to abate all the penalties that have accrued against this account and provide 60 days from the date of the adjusted bill to make payment arrangements. It doesn't have to be paid in full. It can be paid over time according to the Water Revenue Bureau payment arrangement terms. So unfortunately, Ms. Strunk, we did look at this, and considering that no usage was billed for 16 years, the 226 CFs that this does cover is a very low amount of water usage per month. It's just when you add it up over that length of time, it becomes a significant bill. So we didn't feel that there was any adjustment that we could make.
No, I mean, I appreciate the fees coming off, which is kind of what I was hoping for.
Okay.
So I do appreciate that. And it's
Penalties.
lesson learned to look at your water bill and make sure you're being billed for water.
Yeah, it's hard to read sometimes. We recognize that. Can I get concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Kammerdiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. So Ms. Strunk, you will get a letter from the Tax Review Board in about 2 weeks outlining the decision, and an adjusted bill from Water Revenue will follow probably within 30 days. From the time you get the bill, you'll have 60 days to talk to the people in Water Revenue and make whatever payment arrangements you can enter into with them.
Okay, I appreciate your.
Thank you for your patience and your time.
Have a good
Thank you.
afternoon.
Yeah. have a
Thank
good-
you.
Thank you.
Bye
And
now.
we're gonna-
Thank you.
I'm gonna leave now.
And you can leave. Yes, thank you for waiting. We're gonna move
Bye.
on to the next case
Bye.
on our docket, case number 6, which is 6343 Germantown Avenue. Last four digits of the docket are 9058. I understand the petitioner has not come into the office, nor is there a petitioner on Zoom. Is that correct, Ms.
That is
Andre?
correct. It is 3:24 and no one is here, and no one is here in 100 South Broad Street, and there's nobody in the waiting room.
All right, Ms. Scattergood, is there anything that you want to tell us or any information you have about this case?
So this case was previously listed for, I think, October. And my colleague, Mr. Saifuddin, requested a continuance so that the petitioner could schedule a special meter test, which he secured at the end of October of 2024. And the result of that meter test is that the meter was functioning correctly. So I believe he's contesting a meter rebill, but there
Okay,
was
so he's not here. So
right.
There's no
Yeah,
need.
so
there's really
the
no-
meter is working correctly as it should be, and it's the same meter that was in the property during the period he was disputing. So
Okay.
that's all I have to say.
Thank you. All right, but considering that the petitioner has not appeared, I'm going to recommend that we deny this, and the reason would be failure to appear by the petitioner. Can I get concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Kammerdiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. And I believe that concludes our docket for today.
It does. Thank
Thank you, everyone. Thank
All
you,
right.
Ms. Smith. Thank you, Ms. Scattergood.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Stacy,
Everyone have a
thank
good
you.
evening.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
good one.
Don, Nancy,
Bye-bye.
see
Take
you all
care.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye.